The woman is told she can't bring her husband to Britain because he can't speak English.
Rashida Chapti, who's a British citizen, has been told her husband failed under new immigration rules designed to improve integration and citizenship.
We would be appealing, and if we lose the appeal, we will be taking it to a higher court, most possibly European court.
Also tonight, staff at a Birmingham hospital prepare for one of their busiest nights of the year.
So not only are we dealing with all the festive fun aspects of things, we're also dealing with all the injuries that come along with the weather.
In sport, Stoke City's European adventure sees them draw Spanish opposition.
And as we count down to Christmas, we want you to help us find the most decorated home in the Midlands. Good evening. A woman from Leicester who's fighting to bring her husband over from India to live with her has lost her High Court challenge to an immigration rule that says he must be able to speak English.
Rashida Chapti's lawyers say it's discriminatory on grounds of race and is a breach of their human rights. But today a High Court judge in Birmingham dismissed the challenge. Kate Fisher was in court.
Rashida Chapti's been married for nearly 40 years, but for the last 6, she's barely seen her husband. The only photo she has of him is in a newspaper, but a change in the law means that he has to pass an English test before he's allowed to live here. Rashida says it's unfair because when she began the application, it wasn't a requirement.
When I applied for my husband, that time was not English. English came this year.
The changes mean those applying to join their families in the UK must now pass an approved English language test, have a basic command of speaking and listening to English, and be able to understand and use simple phrases. There are exemptions for those who are over 65, have a physical or mental condition, or exceptional compassionate circumstances. The Chaptis, along with 2 other couples whose wives live in Birmingham, launched a legal challenge, saying this was discriminatory on grounds of race because the same tests don't apply to countries like the USA and Australia, and they argued it breached their right to family life under the European Convention of Human Rights. But today, a judge here at the High Court in Birmingham dismissed that challenge, saying that the new pre-entry English language test did not interfere with the couple's human rights.
Naturally, she feels very disappointed today with the ruling itself.
Yeah. I can't feel nice because this is Christmas time. I'm staying alone. Now Doug is building. I'm going to work alone. How can I live alone?
But the Chaptis are not without hope. The judge here granted them permission to appeal the judgment, which they say is an encouraging sign that there are still unresolved issues to be considered by a higher court.
We'll keep fight for him.
And that fight will take them to the Court of Appeal next year. Kate Fisher at the High Court in Birmingham for Central Tonight.
Well, we're joined in the studio by the family's lawyer Sanjeev Sharma. If Mr Chapti can't speak English, why should he be allowed to come to the UK?
It's not the case that Mr Chapti doesn't speak English or he's not willing to learn English. The point is that we don't feel that it's appropriate or even right for Mr Chapti or for other people who are coming to the UK as spouses of British citizens, that they should be required to learn English at that early stage. There is a provision in place already in the immigration rules that allows applicants to learn English before they are given permanent residence. So there is a requirement for them to learn that level of English already at a more detailed level than what is required at the pre-entry stage.
OK, so Mr Sharma, just to be clear, does Mr Chapti speak any English at all?
He doesn't speak any English, and that's one of the problems that he has in meeting this requirement, in the sense that he is illiterate. He's going to have to spend hours and hours attending tuition centres and lessons and trying to learn the basic level that is required, which also involves added problems in terms of cost, travel, which are the problems that most people from the Indian subcontinent are going to face.
So are you saying that the issue with cost, it's a major issue for him? It's not just that he doesn't want to spend the money?
Yes, it is a major issue, yeah. I mean, that is one of the main reasons that he has in terms of cost and travel.
But some would say, if you're going to come and live in this country, this is the language of England, of Britain, so he's got to learn some English. He's got to be able to get by.
That's right, and that's why we've always said, and the family have always maintained, that he has no problem in wanting to learn English, and he's willing to learn English, but it's far easier for him to learn English when he's in the UK, mixing with English people, rather than sitting in a village in Gujarat where he has no one to speak to.
OK, well, Mr Sharma, thank you very much for coming in and talking to us.
Thank you.